There's been some weird stuff going on. I hear people like there's too many conspiracy theories. You know, I hear Trump's going to give a presentation and then he cancels it and then the State Department thing pops up. Do you guys see this?
No.
Yeah.
Where the State Department claimed that Trump's term had ended today or whatever, or was going to end today, and Mike Pence's as well.
Yeah.
And now they're saying it's like a rogue employee. I guess we had this one planned for later, but we'll jump straight to this one. Check this out from BuzzFeed. A disgruntled employee changed the State Department's website to say that Trump's term ends today, sources say. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is launching an investigation after biographical pages for the president and vice president were changed Monday. I don't buy the story. Everybody started sharing the state.gov biography of Trump, that it said Donald Trump's term ended and then the current date plus like a couple of hours.
Yeah.
It seemed like some kind of basic script to just say, you know, Donald Trump's term ended and then display time. You know what I mean? So that no matter what happened, every time someone went to it, it would show them the current time based on like UTC time zone or something. That's what it seemed like. So I don't know exactly what happened, but they're saying it was a rogue employee, perhaps. BuzzFeed says a disgruntled employee at the State Department changed the biographies of President Trump and Vice President Mike Pence to say their term was coming to an end on Monday, 9 days before the President-elect Joe Biden is to be sworn in. Two current serving diplomats with knowledge of the situation told BuzzFeed News. The changes of the State Department's website come days after Trump incited a deadly insurrection. Okay, we get it, BuzzFeed. The president's biography was changed to read, Donald J. Trump's term ended on 2021 01/11 1949. The vice president said 1944-22. The timestamp on Trump's page changed multiple times before both pages were removed around 3:50 p.m. and replaced with a 4:04 reading. We're sorry, this site is currently experiencing technical difficulties. Please try again in a few moments. One of the diplomats said that Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has ordered an internal investigation into the matter, beginning with interns and employees leaving the State Department this week and next ahead of the transition to the Biden administration. So this is what it looked like. Right here, it says Donald J. Trump's term ended and the date. And then you can see for Pence, it was very, very similar. You know, my response is when I saw this, right to jail. Believe it or not, straight to jail. Whoever did this needs to get locked up. No joke. Charges. Because we're at a time we're extremely vulnerable. Okay, this country is going through serious turmoil. Nancy Pelosi, I'm not here to play games. I know that what I'm about to say is a strong statement, but Nancy Pelosi, according to the Joint Chiefs of Pentagon officials, asked them to stage a military coup. And we can argue she didn't know what she was asking for, and that's fine. But it needs to be said. Pelosi went to the Pentagon, to the Joint Chiefs, and said, do not obey lawful orders from Trump in certain circumstances.
Incompetence is not a defense. If she didn't know what she was doing, she was still doing it.
And the argument I give is
she's been in Congress for 50,000 years. I mean, of course she would know.
She was in like dinosaur Congress. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she went to the Pentagon and said, if Trump gives you orders to like start a war or fire nukes or whatever, disobey them. And they said that would amount to a military coup. They cannot remove the president from the chain of command. He is the commander in chief. Why isn't that being said more of? So anyway, look, the point is, considering this state we're in with these kind of things happening, now would be the worst possible time for hackers to break in, to mess with our country, to start a war or to come at us. And then some dumb intern or whatever is like, I'm going to make a joke about Trump resigning. And now you get people panicking. What if people like you've got people on edge? We just had people storm the U.S. Capitol. This is not the time for jokes. So that's why I don't know if I believe it, because a lot of people were worried this was a hack, some kind of hack that went in and they added this or whatever. But either way, could you imagine what would happen if people around the country saw that message? We no longer have a president, no statement, no knowledge. I remember when Twitter got hacked, the Associated Press got hacked by the Syrian Electronic Army. To put out a tweet from the AP saying that Obama has been injured, and we lost like $4 billion in stock value as soon as it happened. And then as soon as they corrected it, it shot back up, but only a 90% recovery. These kinds of things aren't jokes. Whoever did this should get the book and the bookshelf thrown at them.
But they were probably an Obama holdover, and in how many more days is Joe Biden? They're probably going to get the Medal of Freedom.
Yeah,
I mean that's I agree. I mean they should be. I don't think they should go to jail. I think they should just be fired.
No,
they should just be.
You don't look.
I don't know what happened. Like, did anybody go into like the Wayback Machine
Yes.
and see what this thing looks like? Because was that timestamp there, and all they did was just add some HTML saying that his term is over,
No.
like right now?
So at a certain point in the archives, there's nothing. It wasn't there. Okay. Someone placed it there, it seems like around the end of December, to have like the current date or something. Or for whatever reason, we don't know why the date was changing, but there are versions from December. Whoever did this, in my opinion, broke into these systems. It is no one was granted authorization to claim Trump was removed from office or resigned. That's serious. That's not shutting down his Twitter account. That's telling everyone in this country the president's gone.
Well, it's only telling people that are going to that website. I think they should be
State.gov?
Do I think they should be punished? Yes.
What's
the crime?
The State Department website?
Yeah, but what's the crime?
Well, the actual statutory crime is the violation of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, unauthorized access to a computer server, for which I think the minimum is like 25 years. Considering it was the State Department, that's serious. I'm not okay with these people playing games right now, man. We have 5 people die.
Right.
Okay, we've got people freaking out in this country. We've got dramatic escalation in every political arena. Censorship is going through the roof. Calls for the expulsion of Republicans. For some dumb employee to be like, I'm gonna make a joke.
But my point is, does anybody believe it? No.
Believe that it was a rogue employee?
No. Does anybody believe that? Oh my God! I just saw this timestamp, and oh, that means the president.
Yes, yes.
No, but nobody's believing because Trump is still in office. So
where's Trump been? He's not given a public statement. And you know what I was hearing? Because listen, I follow as much as I can from all of these different tribes. I follow the mainstream media leftists and the Democrats and Republicans, and I listen to what the lefty, conspiracy people and the right wing are. There are left wing people. I saw posting on Facebook saying Trump was supposed to give a speech. And then this website pops up announcing he's resigned, and now his speech was canceled. They believed it. They did. Look, man, regular people imagine that little old lady in the Capitol. You saw that picture of the granny waving the little flag? That lady has no idea what's going on. I'm not trying to be mean, but come on. She was confused and bewildered.
Like Joe Biden.
And she sees on the website Trump is no longer president. She's going to believe that. And look, it's not even about whether or not people believe it for the most part. It's about the fact that somebody, because they were an angry Trump derangement syndrome moron, broke into a system exposing a vulnerability in our State Department. Like, dude, we're on edge so much. We can't do this, man.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm trying to be objective here. This person should be punished. Yes. Do I think that the people that had nothing to do with the murder be charged with felony murder? No. So I'm trying to, I'm trying to.
Look, I'm not saying
lower the temperature.
I agree. I'm not saying give them 25 years, but I'm saying they should be given, some kind of charge. It's got to be. You can't go into government systems and do this.
And that's fine. I don't think that they should go to jail for 25 years. Though that's just kind of ridiculous.
No. Right. I agree. They definitely.
Joe Biden will pardon him anyway.
Could you imagine Joe Biden being like, this patriot who tried to remove Donald Trump to build back better? We're gonna pardon him. First thing.
I don't know, he should be arrested. I don't know who it is. If it was one person, I mean, you need to pull some out and be like, this is the guy that did it, and we don't know if that's right either. So
I'm going to say that this person who did it probably put it out there to say,
right.
to like, hey, look, there's this thing. Look at this. It's crazy, right?
Yeah. if I saw a tweet. I think it was from Redhead Libertarian. I'm not entirely sure. So if I'm miscrediting you. But it was like that point when you realize our systems are cobbled together with sticks and stones.
That was me.
Oh, that was you.
That
was you who tweeted that.
I said that our systems are pretty much held together with toothpicks and cobwebs.
You're
like balsa wood and cotton candy. Because it's nothing. One person can do this. It's insanity.
I didn't know you were the redhead libertarian.
Apparently I am,
But think about what they've exposed with this stupid joke. That some dumb rogue employee at the State Department could break the whole thing. Think about what that means.
I wonder what else up there is fake right now.
But it's everything. I mean, look at all these holdovers from the previous 8 years. All the leaks. Where do you think those leaks came from?
Trump,
not Republicans.
You know, it was funny. I think I'm going to miscredit whoever said this, so I'm not going to credit anybody.
It was me.
They said the one thing Trump was famous for, he didn't do: fire people.
Yeah.
He should have just fired people, and he didn't do it.
Fire everyone.
He did. He fired he didn't fire
the right people.
He hired and fired a lot of people.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah,
But you can't. It's very hard to fire government employees. We know this, right?
Trump made it easier.
It's one thing to hire and fire Jim Mattis. It's another thing to fire some low level. Look at what Andrew Strzok. Peter Strzok. Sorry, Andrew Strzok.
Andrew McCabe.
You?
Yeah, Andrew McCabe. Yes, thank you. I had a long train ride, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
But even it was hard to get rid of them too. I mean, there was pushback there.
Right, of course.
So and they actually did something.
Man.
Which I'm not saying that this State Department guy didn't do something either.
I just think this person's anti-Trump.
Sure.
So, going off
half the government.
Right. You go off of the previous discussion we had, we're talking about arresting people for murder or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if the prosecutors are like, we're going to bury them in books. Like it's going to be an example tenfold. And then with this, they're like, well, it was just a harmless joke.
It was a prank, bro.
And we all hate Trump, right? Because the orange man is bad. So
sure.
It sounds okay.
Yeah, I don't see, Can we go back to the inauguration for a second? I think Secret Service probably has everything covered as far as safety, and these things happen once every 4 years like clockwork. So I think they kind of have everything that they need to do. And but honestly, I do not understand why this inauguration is even taking place. I mean, fine, yes, the ceremony of him being sworn in, that has to happen, but having 1,600 people in stands in front of the Capitol. Isn't that a super spreader event? I thought that Joe Biden didn't like that stuff.
Plexiglass between all of them, and they're going to stand 6
give me a
feet away
break.
from them.
Well,
aren't
no,
they?
so what I heard is that
he's going to put his hand on the sanitizer instead of the Bible.
Well, no. This is serious. That in order to do it, what's going to happen is once you arrive for the inauguration, if you're one of the attendees, you wait in line. They have you 6 feet apart, and then they have these 8 foot by 3 by 3 by 8 cubes. Or not cubes, but big chambers. They lock you in made of plexiglass, and they padlock it, and they put you on a forklift and just carry you in and put you down. You can't leave. You're trapped inside, and you're banging, and it's airtight, and there's no sound. But then Joe Biden's safe. So
great.
You have this look. You're like,
no, it's like you got.
Everyone's gonna die because
you had me halfway. No, look, I think it's so hypocritical for him to be holding this thing, and there's also going to be onlookers too.
It's a celebration, just like his win on election night.
Look, the guy's been wanting to be president since the 80s. Yeah. So this is his moment, right? Nothing is, not even COVID is going to stop this dude's moment. And you know what? And he's
not going to remember it.
And you know what? And you know what we're going to hear in the evening? I guarantee it. Biden's inauguration was bigger than Trump's inauguration crowd.
No. I'm sorry. What they're going to do is they're going to say that based on online numbers, they're going to make the streaming for this makes it the biggest inauguration in history, even though when Trump was getting inaugurated, they discounted the live stream views and said that it was smaller than Obama's.
Right.
And then Trump was like, but look at the live stream, the ratings were huge.
Well, the way that look, I've been a big critic of Sean Spicer, and the way he came out and presented it was just the dumbest way possible. Just set the tone for the entire 4 years by coming out. First thing you do is yell at all the reporters.
I want to sing a line from Alanis Morissette's "Ironic" about the old man, but I don't want to say it because it has to do with the president. But I think you understand the joke. An old man turned 88. He won the presidency.
Oh yeah, that's too bad.
But I'll leave it at that. For those that are familiar with the song, I guess
I'm really curious how they're going to be doing the inauguration, because again, we see Joe Biden as the kind of plexiglass, social distancing, always wear a mask, 100 days of masks are coming presidency. How are they going to do it with everyone standing together behind him? How are they going to do it with that crowd?
I think if they do it, he's a gigantic hypocrite, and he needs to be
called
out on it. But they will not be called out on it, and that's what kills me. This double standard.
Well, one thing already. They have a crap ton of National Guard. They have a crap ton of troops coming together, mingling together, and again, this is also something that has affected small businesses tremendously on such a severe level. So for them to pull this off, it's really going to be something. And second of all, it's also interesting to see New York Governor Andrew Cuomo tweet today that we need to open up businesses. So maybe when the Biden administration comes in, maybe there's going to be another kind of flip of policies where COVID's going to be magically over.
Like Trump said.
Well, we've always been saying that, and it's been a joke.
Happen.
But then Joe Biden keeps saying it's going to be long, dark winter.
What if,
and
what if at the inauguration, like Biden comes out and he's got his arm around like two young dudes wearing Hawaiian shirts and sunglasses, and he's kind of slumped over, and he's wearing sunglasses and a hat, and they like bring him up, and like his arms flopping, and he flops onto the Bible.
I think there was a movie about
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, there was also a great political ad for it too. Did you see the ad?
Oh yeah.
It was great. Yeah, it was awesome.
They're
There's
like,
a
this
cartoon
is
about
what
it,
we have
too.
to try and win, and
Yeah.
and he wins. It's great. Yeah, it's good fun. I hope it goes off like normal, man. I whatever it is, if they're hypocrites, I wouldn't be surprised.
It should be canceled.
Well, they are hypocrites.
No,
This
it
is
should
another thing.
legit be. It should be the first Zoom inauguration, and that's it. And instead, they're going to have 16. The stand holds 1,600 people. They're all going to be wearing masks outside, and you're like, well, why could you do it there? But you couldn't do it in other things. Like why were they considered super spreaders and this isn't? Right? And then with the crowd and with because you think the people are going to go, yeah, I'm just going to stay home. Like, no, people are going to come out. And I think partially because they want to say, we need to make this bigger than Trump.
Yeah, they're gonna take out their champagne bottles. They're gonna be swinging it, passing it around to the next person, and they are hypocrites. So I think you might be right, because again, we have to understand here, especially on the topic of small business, the same people who are arguing that you need to shut down small business to defeat COVID are the ones who are screaming right now that businesses could do whatever they want. They could censor whoever they want because they're big private corporate entities that should be left alone. Magically, again, a major shift in policy that no one's calling out or addressing.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., so come back to check us out when we go live. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we are also available on all podcast platforms for free if you want to listen to us there. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all next time.